Good morning. It is Saturday morning, guys. This is George from StreetCulture.US, and today we're going to do a review on these components. So check this out. If you have a 370Z or 350Z and you are looking to strengthen the back end with your subframe assembly and your differential, then definitely go for the differential bushings, which I will talk about in another video. But the subframe bushings, if you do the differential, will also flex, and that's going to be weak spot. So luckily, your weak spot, luckily from Whiteline and from Energy Suspension through Concept Z, they have the answer for you. So check this out. And we're going to talk about, first we'll talk about the bushings from Whiteline and what I like about them versus what I don't like about them. This set comes to you from Concept Z, thanks to the boys at Concept Z, for $100, and I think it's $140 after everything is shipped and all that stuff. And let's go over the components really quickly. So I broke them down. This is what the actual bushings look like for each side, front and rear. Okay, and then I broke them down here to see what the components are involved towards putting these together. It's pretty simple. The first thing I notice is the quality of the bushings, and the bushings are the molds that they use are very well finished, and you can tell that in the result of the bushing itself. The polyurethane is very smooth. You can tell that the molds have been polished, and it just results in a really nice piece at the end. What I don't like about this bushing is, if you can see here through, let me do that so you can see the light going through it. Yes, there are gaps on each side here, which causes for, look at that, with my thumb, flex. You can see the flex, and once this rod that houses the bolt goes through, that's going to flex back and forth on the bushing under torque. And to me, for my application, depending on the horsepower that you're running, to me this is just not a good thing. I mean, if I wanted this type of flex, I would kept the OEMs. Now, one thing that this bushing kit from Whiteline does offer, if you want to go with this is for your everyday driver type of situation, and you want something a little bit better that's going to last longer. As we all know that the rubber lasts maybe 5 to 7 years, and the urethane polypropylene lasts for considerably longer. I think somewhere between 15 and 25 years, depending on your environment. Now, the kit comes with, as you can see, each component has its own inner sleeve, and that's where your bolt goes through, like so. The bolt goes through, and then you go ahead and you slide the top and bottom components together, like so, to create the full bushing. All right, and that makes it, both kits make it very easy, but I'll get into this kit here in a second. But it's very easy to put together, and as you can see, I just went ahead and I assembled that bushing with one hand. It was no big deal. Now, one of the things to make it go in easier that you could do is put these in the freezer, as well as with this kit over here. Put these in the freezer overnight, shrinking them, make them easier to slide in. But you don't really have to. If the subframe is cleaned out and painted and whatnot, it should slide in fairly easy using that's the other thing I want to talk about, the applied bushing lubricant, which is included with this kit from Whiteline. Now, the kit also comes with some really nice instructions. What I like about these instructions versus the instructions over here from Energy is that they map out what you're supposed to do. Remove the prop shaft, handbrake cables, etc., etc. This gives you a step-by-step breakdown in how to remove your subframe assembly and replace these bushings. Also with this kit, you have these little, I guess you could say shims or spacers, which is really nice because sometimes the bolts need a little bit of space because these are different than the OEM, so they might be in different lengths. Also with this bushing set, you can see on the inside here, and I don't know if you can, there we go, the textured finish. Now this is supposed to supply grip, but when I look at this, you don't really need grip. And what this says to me on the inside is that moisture is going to be able to get in there, water as well, and then it's going to cause these to actually rust up on the inside, making it a complete pain in the ass for removal down the road when you do want to replace these, or if you tear them. Again, tearing is a concern to me. Now in this subframe instruction handbook, it does show you how to line up and where the placement of the gaps are, these gaps right inside here on the subframe. Now this suggests to me by the instructions that taking off and slowing down, that's where you're going to have your predominant and majority of strength right here and in here. But on your left-right action in corners, you're going to have a lot of flex as this, there we go, is going to flex under torque and load. So again, this is, I guess, for a daily driven application with maybe a couple bolt-on components. But anything beyond 400 horsepower, I would say no, which is why I'm actually sending these back to Concept Z, and they sent me a nice label to return it in, and I will shoot those out this week. So yeah, on to the next kit. Over here we have the Energy Suspension Kit. Energy Suspension has been a leader in the game for, oh God, well over 15, 20 years. And they make great parts, and just for a variety of applications, American domestic as well as JDM. So let's get into this kit here. This kit here, and I want to add that both kits, both the white line and the Energy, are for 350 and 370Z application. So even though, which I did clear up here, even though it says 350Z, they apply to both models, the 350 and the 370. As well as your G37, G35, from my understanding, you can use these as well. So this subframe kit, there's the number right there. This retails for a little bit more. It's about $20 more than the prior kit. But let's get into what I like about this kit. So this kit, the image is much more clear than compared to the image on the white line instructions. However, it does not map out, as you can see, it does not map out how to go step by step if you've never done this before to remove this whole subframe assembly. This subframe assembly here, it's located in the back of the vehicle. And if people have not done this, this does not provide a step-by-step on how to. It just says here, number one, once you get the subframe pulled out. Well, okay, that's great and everything, but how do you pull it out? What are the step-by-steps? Whereas this one here on the white line says, raise the rear of the vehicle, suitable chassis stands, etc. Remove the rear road wheels from the vehicle, remove the rear section, etc. And you can see it breaks it down. Remove the exhaust, remove this, remove that. Whereas Energy's just like, once you get it off, well, okay, thanks Energy. Don't you think you could put it on the back here? Just put a little bit of step-by-step instruction like white line did over here. Just apply it back here and that would be great. Thank you. All right, so one of the things I do like about this is that it is a darker image and you can see that it's very clear, whereas with the white line, this is a little bit too light for me, though it does outline the bushings in a darker image. This here is pretty clear. So let's talk about the bushings themselves. Like the white line, I'm going to put them side by side here. Like the white line, they are pretty much the same molds, okay? However, one of the things I don't like about the Energy, and you can see it here, as opposed to the white line, here's the Energy, here's the white line, there is a more prominent gap. It's rounded off on these bushings here. They're rounded off near the place where they come together in the middle. And to me, that allows moisture to get in there again. So that just kind of bugs me. Now, as I talk about on the white line bushings, these Energy bushings do not have, as you can see, they are smooth on the inside. They do not have those grooves, where I'll show you again here with the white line. See those grooves on the white line bushing? They do not have them here on the Energy bushing, and that's a good thing because that allows you to get your lubricant in there and it'll slide and move around very nicely. Plus, with no moisture getting in there, it will not make it difficult to come out. Okay, back to the bushings themselves. Again, 3 pieces. However, we do not have these shims / washers with this kit. Also, I want to note that these inner sleeves are actually quite a bit thicker than this one here is from the white line kit. This one here is from the Energy bushing kit. And as you can see, the sleeves are bigger, heftier, thicker, definitely heavier. This one's much heavier than the white line. So let me put that back over there by the white line. So yeah, the kits are pretty much the same. As you can see, the bushings are relatively the same. However, they do not have, these are the Energy bushings, these are the white lines. They do not have the gaps in here, offering a much more rigid overall bushing and a stronger bushing setup for your more performance-oriented cars. They do offer them in the black and they offer them in the more durable red. And on the durometer, the Energy bushings are a lot stronger and more stable than the white line. So yes, so let me show you again. You just slide your sleeve in like this, and the top hat, boom, one hand, and the bushing is put together and it's done. Now the only thing that needs to be added to this is bushing lubricant or grease, and unfortunately white line does appreciate include it, but the Energy Bushing Suspension Kit does not, which means you'll have to order their tub of lubricant. Luckily I have a tub already in the garage, and that's one downside to this kit. But overall, it's a very nice quality kit. Their molds are pretty nice as well. However, I will say that I'm a little more impressed with the white line molds being much more finished, I think. As you can see, this is white line, and here's the same bushing in Energy. Huge difference, and I think that's because the white line's inner mold is actually polished, whereas the Energy suspension is not polished, which I think white line offers a better end state product for the look, but for the performance, obviously, and the durometer proving it, that the Energy suspension is the way to go under especially heavy loads. Even in the photo here in the instructions, you can see that their Energy bushing kit is being used on one of their performance race cars, and the car is drifting around the corner, which tells me that it's going to offer a much more stiff ride, because anybody who's drifted knows that when you have a lot of chassis flex and a lot of suspension flex, those tires are going to catch, not allowing you to drift as easily, and you have to spin the tires much more, which can be detrimental. So yeah, everything here on the instructions is mapped out. You got the bushing numbers, and you can see the bushing numbers on the inside of the bushings. Here we go right here, 4281 coupled to 4280, and it tells you the placement, which one is supposed to be up, which one's supposed to be down. And then of course you have your sleeves. Now let me talk about these sleeves really quick. So on both sets they're provided, however, on this Energy bushing kit, the sleeves for the front or the rear bushings are the same length, whereas this kit from White Line has, let me take this off, the bushings sleeve are actually different lengths from front to rear, and you can see that here as the fronts are actually longer than the rear. So that's a little bit more concerning. And what does that mean for strength and durability? It means that the White Line bushings are just a little bit, there we go, let's put them next to each other. This is your Energy bushing, this is your White Line bushing kit, and you can see there's just about a 10 millimeter, I'd say about a 5 to 10 millimeter length difference, and that does offer a little bit more for the Energy bushing kit and strength and durability, because it's not going to flex as much under load, and the white lines are definitely going to flex, not only because of the lack of length for the sleeve, which translates to an easier flex, but also because of the gapping. So packaging, let's talk about packaging. White Line came in this box here with a bag like so, made out of high strength plastic. Energy bushings came in this nice printed box, and it opens up like so. There was no plastic bag on the inside. So what I will say about the Energy suspension kit is that they offer a more environmentally friendly packaging solution, because this cardboard here will break down, and even the labels are paper, and they'll break down, whereas this plastic will not, and it just goes to polluting the environment for no reason. So those are the two kits together. This one's going to go back to Concept Z. I hope you guys like this video. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and smash the like buttons, and hit us up on Instagram as well. Tell your friends about us. Remember, dream it, build it, drive it, so that way I can see you guys on the road.